Alright, class is starting, grab your notebook. A really good tutorial out there published by Art Rocket is the Folds and Drapery tutorial by Muley. Go check it out and support Muley if you can find the time. Pay attention to what I just said. Good visual tutorial sourced in the description below. A big part of drawing clothes is understanding the differences in materials. Folds come secondary. I don't know how many times I need to say this. It goes material, fold, tension, drape, wear, flow, and motion. You probably are just here for the folds part though, so we'll focus on that right now, no worries. But let's just get a few things out of the way. When people say to use reference, they don't mean go try to replicate this image from Pinterest. What they're trying to say is use this image to feed your brain new ideas, new visuals that you can create out of your own brain's generations. But that advice falls completely flat when you don't have the catalog to even begin generating those ideas based on an image. It can really slip into the same rabbit hole as the use of presets. And speaking of new ideas, a pretty good one is to consider subscribing to this channel because it's free, and joining my Discord server as well because that's also, you get it. Now, to all my new subscribers, welcome to the Graybox. This is a completely remote art academy for free where every single week we get together and learn together. And on the topic of clothes, many people will try to simplify it into steps or break it into presets or tell you to look at reference, etc., but they don't really even talk about how to use reference or the fact that presets can sometimes work against you, acting as an invisible boundary to your own imagination, or the fact that it still helps to at least know all of the extra not so fun notaries and details from masters and students alike. You're welcome. I act like I'm doing you a favor, but I actually don't know. My ego is in the gutter. Please help. Clothing is definitely one of the more challenging aspects for the beginner artist journey, and even intermediate artists can still suck at this, but with the right resources and the right information being drilled into your brain, you'll be golden. Comment down below what your art journey is looking like right now. I actually broke down 15 years of my own art journey into just 15 days and around 17 minutes in a YouTube video. I highly recommend you go check out that video as it was widely received quite positively, and honestly, I'm proud of it. In this video, I'm going to repeat a lot of things that other people have said to you, but I'm gonna actually try to explain these things to their fullest intricacy with the most simple wording I can possibly achieve. Materials will impact folds heavily. This is why I try to teach it first. But if you're focusing on only learning to draw folds, you should at least understand that your folds will also suggest a certain material depending on how you choose to identify the depth of those folds in your piece. Big folds mean the material is woven thicker, bigger bulk essentially. Small folds mean the material is woven thinner, more pliable and easily rippled or wrinkled when in motion. And these things get even more advanced, whereas hard folds indicate harder or stronger material like a suit jacket, faux leather, or latex. And round folds usually exist on softer materials but can also be present in something like latex as well. Again, there's nuance to this and you have to be really careful about it. Altogether, folds only really happen due to pull or tension in quotes, while the rest comes with drape and dangle. The tension is required for the drape or dangle to exist in the first place. But I'm not a physics teacher. Just know that when cloth experiences a pull, it's gonna laze down like a whiny child getting dragged out of the toy aisle at a Walmart. There is an endless catalog of materials out there, and there's no way that I can cover all of them in one video. If you want that, I will try to cover as many as I possibly can in one future video. As far as folds and tension, several examples of this will be shown on screen during this video. Now, in terms of wear, flow, and motion, those are things that are going to be included in my motion tutorial coming up very soon. But to roll it out real quick right now, here are some examples of me drawing clothes on characters that are in motion, applying the rules of tension and drape and flow to emulate what that motion looks like, how the wind pushes back against that motion. These are things that are going to be super important going forward, but I want to at least lay it out right now, and we can get into all the nitty-gritty details later on. But keep it in mind, don't let this go in one ear and then out the other. Material, fold, tension, drape, wear, flow, and motion. 8 factors to consider in order to draw your cloth much better than you're probably drawing it right now. Thicker materials are going to resist wind a lot more, whereas thin materials tend to fold or get essentially knocked back quite a lot by strong winds. Though some materials can be a little bit more airy or just not tight knit enough to actually resist the wind. So instead of folding back, they sort of just flow in the wind and allow the wind to travel through without much resistance. I've done plenty of examples of clothes that are worn, but not really much that aren't. So let's talk about that. Here's Here's an example. I decided to draw these pants on a clothing line. Now, I used reference for this, and again, the idea with reference is that it gives you a new idea. So kind of taking a very similar article of clothing and just kind of changing the range of motion on it. With some of these examples you can see in the reference image, they actually just fully tube out. It's kind of silly to look at, but that's just how it works. I would highly recommend taking these moments from real life and trying to do something with it. Now, this is a very rough sketch done mostly with a lasso tool, and this is actually drawn on a mouse. I've been doing this a lot lately because it actually hurts to use my art pen due to my current setup, so the mouse kind of fits. I actually will have a tutorial on drawing from life very soon. I've already taken the pictures and reference videos for it, so all we gotta do is just get that recorded and edited. But first, in the next video, we're covering motion. I mentioned before how important it is to listen to the notaries and details from students and masters alike. I don't consider myself a master yet, but I know for sure that I do have students. And it builds an amazing learning experience when you actually have the experiences of other students who are learning just like you, but they have different struggles and different experiences, different perspectives that they can offer. Social learning isn't for everyone, but whenever there is a group of people who are social enough to communicate on what they're struggling with and how they're handling it, I see that they tend to learn so much faster, and they're far more motivated to continue going. But another thing that's very important that I'll cover in a future video about advancing and improvement is that it's important to discipline yourself as well. Even when you don't feel like doing it, sometimes you gotta do it anyway. Especially if you want this to be some sort of career. Now, if you don't and you want this to be a hobby, definitely, take your time, procrastinate if you need to. But if you're looking to be a professional artist, you want to take commissions, you want to do something that gets you money as an artist, discipline is your #1 go-to. And with the Graybox Discord server, I'm pretty sure you will at least be able to find some people who are willing to communicate their struggles with you and help you along your way. Thank you so much for choosing the Graybox today. I know it's been a long time coming. The last lesson I uploaded was a few months ago, and honestly, I'm sorry about that. But we're fixing things up and we're getting back on the saddle. We only have 4 videos uploaded and we've reached 2,000 total subscribers, which is insane. Thank you so much for the continued support, and all of you who have actually joined the Discord or become art students of mine, thank you so much. Paid personal critiques are available. You can either go to CubeBrush for that or you can join the Discord server. I am so happy to be finally doing this as a full-time thing, and a lot of that can be attributed to you guys, so thank you again. Take care, have a good time zone wherever you may be, and I will see you on the next video in less than a week, probably in a couple of days. Bye-bye.